Did the adversity that he faced in the first half, did him hitting potentially rock bottom as a top pick did it trigger something?
Yeah, I love the resolve. Can't let this be a one-off. You have to build off of this. Guess what? You are not good enough to not target him. It was a tale of two halves for Marvin Harrison Jr., Johnny Venerable Bo Brock, PHNX Cardinals here as we recap the 4th overall pick and his efforts against the Seattle Seahawks. First half, Bo, about as bad as it can get on the national stage.
Yeah, we thought we were going to be talking about his Marvin Harrison Jr., the 4th overall pick from the 2024 draft, a bust.
Yeah.
But was he able to stave off the bust label? I think he did, Johnny.
Yes.
I think it showed an immense amount of resiliency coming back. And it's not just about Marvin Harrison Jr. here because he's a wide receiver and we know, hey, could he just get those opportunities so far early in his career? But he got the opportunities because his quarterback, Kyler Murray, kept throwing to him in the second half, and it turned out to put him right back in this game that we thought was an afterthought.
Like, two things can be true. Has the Cardinals' play calling been egregiously bad? Yes. Was Marv really bad in the first half? Should he have caught those balls and not quit on routes and the miscommunication? 100%. He's clearly in his own head. Guess what probably helps Marv to remedy that? Targets, confidence from his play caller, confidence from his quarterback. I'm always going to be skeptical to throw dirt on a 22, 23-year-old kid. It's a big stage. There's a lot of pressure. Guys that of his caliber come into the league and they struggle, right? Terrell Owens once upon a time had a tough time getting going in the NFL. Like, this is a hard game. And you also couple that with the fact that the Cardinals offense, this is not an opinion, this is a fact, has been known to stymie offensive production under Drew Petzing. So I love the resolve in the second half. I love the ability to not only score, but to score in an emphatic fashion over Devin Witherspoon. 2 of his big catches in the second half, including his touchdown, were against the Pro Bowl corner for Seattle. So this is what you have to do, though, moving forward. You can't let this be a one-off. You can't let this be an anomaly. You have to build off of this. You have to make it hurt every single week. Make sure he's involved. He's involved. Because guess what, Arizona Cardinals? You are not good enough to not target him. Like, that's an emphatic statement because, Bo, at the end of the day, you bench him. What are you doing?
Absolutely. I think somebody had mentioned in our chat during our post-game show that it was only the 4th time he had double-digit targets.
Yeah.
And you would have never thought that after watching the first half. You would have never thought that, hey, they were going to get from 5 targets where he had 1 catch and 2 of those targets turned in balls going the other way as interceptions, that he was going to get to 10. But he did 6 catches for 66 yards and a touchdown. And you have to wonder, like, did the adversity that he faced in the first half, did him hitting potentially rock bottom as a top pick did it trigger something?
Yeah.
Did it give him the ability to say, it can't get worse than this, and the only thing I'm going to be able to do to dig myself out of this is make plays when the opportunities present themselves? That took Kyler making some good throws to him, and he took advantage of that. But, I think, like, here's a guy that does everything right. He's done everything right his entire life as the son of a Hall of Fame wide receiver, to a top prospect, really showing up and showing out at Ohio State, to showing up to work out every day of the offseason, putting his body in place to make an impact, that it's more than that. It's going out there and making an impact when you can and doing whatever you can. I mean, it was that Witherspoon catching the ball over him. That's, I think, a defining moment potentially for Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, now you have to build on it, and that's really up to Marv, Drew Petzing, Kyler Murray, and Jonathan Gannon. Because, again, we see this offense start to evolve a little bit with the Arizona Cardinals. Bo, you've talked about it ad nauseum on our live show. It's like James Conner, and this is not a knock on a great player, was a crutch for Drew Petzing.
Sure.
And you can't play that style of offense anymore, especially with your run game not what it was. It's regressed significantly. You're going to have to be susceptible now to some additional pressures on Kyler Murray. But guess what? In the second half, forcing the ball downfield to Marv, Michael Wilson, Xavier Weaver, Greg Dortch, good things happen. So you need balance. I get that. But you can't go back to the 12-13 personnel as your go-to, right? Yeah. You want to finish games like that when you earn a lead in the fourth quarter and your run game improves? Absolutely. But in the meantime, like, you need to be winning games like we thought before the season with 85-18.
Yeah, as an identity crisis, can you change 4 games in the season from a run-heavy attack to potentially a pass-heavy attack? Marvin Harrison Jr. being in a good spot, it just bodes well for you making that change that's necessary. You know, I'm not going to say, hey, this is it. This was the pivot point. This is where Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to go on and reach the heights that we believe he could. I agree with you. Got to have another week against Tennessee where you're producing, because it's been like 1 week on, 2 weeks off. And you got to have more. You got to stack better performances. So it's up to him to do so. What do you think? Do you think Marvin Harrison Jr. showed the resiliency that was necessary to maybe fade those people saying he's a bust? Drop a comment, leave a like, and subscribe to PHNX Sports here on YouTube.